Hello, Jay.
Hello, sir.
Hi. Hi, Nita. Hi, Shakti Velan. Yeah, good evening to all of you. So, Hasni is also joining. Hi, Hasni. Good evening. Yeah, so let's start the class today, okay? Yeah, today we would be learning about the enum type and the constructors. Okay, we have some different types of constructors. So we will look into those details like, how to create and then what is it for and all. Fine. So Advay, last week you have sent a program, right? So I have
Yes, sir.
corrected it actually. I found some mistakes in your program and then I sent
Yes,
it.
I corrected it.
Yeah. So the name of the class, as I mentioned, it should, the first letter should always
Yes, sir.
start.
I was actually in a hurry, so I
Yeah.
forgot.
No. Please, take your time. That happens actually. When we are the beginning stage, right? So we have to, we'll commit a lot of mistakes. That's how we learn actually. If you don't commit a mistake, right? Either two things, either or either you don't know, right? If you don't commit the mistakes. So basically that's I personally feel like better to commit the mistake, then we learn from that mistake. Okay, anyways, no loss, right? No, nothing lost, right? We're not going to lose anything if we do any mistakes. So that's for the learning purpose. Okay, so let's see like what is there for today. Fine. So again, these are the questions that we discussed last week. So some of them are new, and some of them are from the last week. So the new one we'll discuss, and then old one, let's discuss about. Understand from you. What do you understand by this? So the first question to Advay.
What are local variables versus instance variables? Local variables are variables which are declared like in the when the program is running, like it just with the primitive data type, like yeah, but like without the running part. Then but then but instance variables are class variables.
Okay, yeah, you are partially correct. So instance variables, yes, you said rightly. They are declared at the class level. So local variables, you can say it as like declared at the function level. So within the function, so you will declare variables, and it need not be primitive types alone. So it can be any type. So it can be type of another class also, like string buffer, string builder, or employee, or your own custom class. So can be of any type. Okay, so basically to understand from your perspective in a simpler terms, remember this: instance variables are at class level, local variables are at block level, like the function level. Okay, fine. So second one to Hasni. Hasni, second one for you. Hasni, you there?
Yeah,
Yeah, can you answer the second question?
I don't know.
So can I answer?
Okay, yes. Hasni, did you say anything now?
Yeah,
So second, what is the answer for the second question?
I don't know.
Okay, cool. Anita, how about you?
Okay, difference between equals and equal. Uh, equals of is for object comparison. We can use equals of. Equal is for a conditional operator. For the primitive Like
Right.
checking, we can use for equal to equal.
Correct. The primitive types and the literals and the string literals. String literals are usually stored in the string pool, right? So for that, we will use double equal to. The equals method is for the object comparison. Okay, good. So now, Hasini, can you explain the third one? Hasini, the third one, the third question. Hasini, you there?
Yeah.
Third question. How do we write infinite loop using the for loop? Okay, Adra, you?
So we can write the infinite loop with the for loop by writing for in a parenthesis, inside the writing double semicolons, and then curly brackets, and then the code.
Correct. Fine. So similarly.
So I think I know how to write for while loop.
Okay. So we haven't seen while and do while last week, right? Let us see actually, let us try that also. So where is that? Yeah. Okay, account controller, calculate profit. Fine. So I'm trying to find, what is the right file where we have written. Oh, okay. File operations. Here, testament. So we wrote it here, right? Okay, fine. So now what we'll do is we'll try to understand, how to write infinite loop using while and do while. Okay. So in a simpler terms, I don't want to take you in a yeah, I'll explain it in a simpler terms. So while, so what should be here?
True.
While, yes, while true. True is means what? So while true is always true, right? So when it is true, always it enters inside. And then, it will never stop actually. So the loop is already there. So you can just mention sys out. And then you just count to see what is the count plus I. Okay, here let's declare int equal to 0, and then we will print I, and we learned about the break and continue also, right? So we'll just stop at 10. Okay, if I is equal to 10.
But then it will stop very fast because it goes very fast.
Right. So if you want to make it okay, 1000, you just take it as 1000. So it will keep on, get inside this for while loop and then prints the statement. And then when it is 1000, it will break. Okay. So this is infinite loop using while condition. So if it is infinite, right, you don't know how to come out. The program will always be running. So you have to come out at one point. So for that reason, we will use this break statement to come out of.
So you need to use I plus plus, right? I think
yeah,
I forgot
correct.
that.
Perfect. You are right. So we will
After the print statement.
see, the program is continuing. It's not stopping, right? It's not stopping.
Because it can never exceed 0.
Yeah, it is a never ending. So we don't, the value is always true, and then I is 0. So it's not entering into this if condition. So we'll stop it. And then let's use Control Shift F10 to run it again. So we committed the mistake, right? To understand, what mistake we did. So you pointed correctly, Advay, we forgot to increment. So we increment this way. And then in exactly at 1000, it will exit, come out of the while loop. Otherwise, it will keep on going. So now, similarly, what we do is do while. So can you tell me do while syntax?
Can I say?
Yeah, Anita, can you explain me do while syntax?
Do.
Okay.
Open bracket.
Okay.
Inside the block, we can put some system.out.println.
Okay, I will use the same thing.
Then while enter.
While should be
true.
Yeah, this one should be true. So in this case, right, we have to declare a variable. So we'll declare a variable inside let's take 3 i's. 3i. This is a variable name. I'm giving it as I. So this one I'll give it at 200. Okay. So first iteration, it will go here 0.
Sir, you did I plus plus, not I plus plus.
Right. Okay, cool. So now why it is showing, Anita? The red color compilation error.
No semicolon.
Correct. So we need to add the semicolon. Now let's see. So this is I. So I'm going to run this program again. You see the value?
I think you did a mistake, because if you write in I is equal to 0, forever it will be 0.
Why? You tell me.
Because when it enters the loop again, then it will be 0. Then then when you print it, then before you print it, it's 0. So it will print 0 forever.
Perfect, Advay. Yeah, you'll become the very good programmer. So we should ideally keep it outside. Good. Yeah, you rightly pointed our mistake. So this is how you should also try, commit the mistake and learn from it. So now that is what called a scope. Whatever you just said, right? Here. So the scope of the value of this I will always be 0 within this block only, right? So here it will increment. For the next iteration, it will again come back here. And again, we are declaring the I here to 0. So that's why, every time it actually assigns value 0 to I. Okay, so we'll have to move it out like this. So when we move it out, then the value, the scope of this I is outside. So outside we are not doing anything, but within this block we are incrementing the value of this, right? So that's why it will keep on iterating until 200. Okay, now let's run this. See, at exactly 200, it's exiting. Fine. So now you understood the infinite loop, right? So infinite loop using do while, and this one is
Infinite loop using while.
While. Okay, and this one, not this one. This one, yeah.
Infinite loop using for.
So we understood all these three now. So you should be able to write a program to understand for loop, while loop, and do while. Okay. Now let's go to the concept of overloading. Okay. So we'll understand what is overloading. So maybe overloading will be, yeah. Okay. Give me a second.
Is it when you load too many parameters or
No, overloading, I don't want to explain it now, so you'll get confused. So first, let's talk about the new one, okay, new item, which is enum. Okay, we'll learn about a special class, enum. Okay, so basically, right, what we do with the enum classes is nothing but it is a new data type allowed in Java. Okay, same like primitive types, right? Long, int, boolean. So similar to that, enum is also one of the type, special class type actually, special type of the class. So enum can also be used in switch statements. So in the switch statements, we have, we can use a short int.
switch case break.
So similarly, enum can also be used in the switch statement. Okay. Now, why do we need this enum? So enum follows a similar syntax to the class, but if we have a set of fixed number of constants, right, we use enum. So let me explain in the code, then you'd better understand. Okay. So all these points, like, the last few points, what I'm saying is like, it's all some documentation purpose only. So I will explain it using the code. Okay, when we start writing the code, we will see like what it does, features. So let's okay, so enum is of constants, right?
Utilities package.
Yeah, if you let's read out the first statement. It is a special class that represents a group of constants. So like Sunday, Monday is never going to change, right? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's universally same. So for these kind of constant values, we will be using enum. So, and it is a data type which contains fixed set of constants. So we have 7 days in a week, right? So 7 days is fixed. So for these fixed constants, we will be using enum. So let's see how it represents. You can see here enum, and then yeah, here I mentioned it should be week. Okay, so this is a week, right? So you can say like, in a week contains Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 7 days, right? So 7 days in a week. So this is how we represent in Java. Let's see like, how exactly we can write it in the program. So this being the constants, group of constants. So what is the right package?
Utility.
Right package to choose from all this?
Utilities.
Huh?
If we're utilities.
Perfect. So util, right? It is a utility, common util. So that's why we just, okay, give me a second. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, let's write enum here. Okay. So
You already made an enum class.
yeah, this one is the advanced one. So I will start with the basic one. Okay. right, for creating an enum, right, you have to right click on the package, go to new, select the Java class here, okay, and then here you write
The name, then we select enum.
weekday. Okay, what day of the week is that? Okay, day of week. So day of week. So you can see here, it is an enum type, right? So you have to select the enum here. Okay, and then double click on this. See, that's it. This is a public enum. If you want to make it private, you just change it to private, which will be available. Yeah, which you may not be able to access outside. So basically, most of the time we'll use public because it should be accessed across the application, right?
So which package can tell what is the current current day of the week?
So that is, we have a calendar.
No, sir. In Java, like which module or package can or library
Yeah.
can?
No, that's what I said. Calendar. We have a
Oh,
calendar. So further, okay, you raise the right point. That we can try it somewhere. Yeah, here. Common detail, right? Somewhere here. Okay, the test main we can write it. Again, I'll show you where exactly you can find that. You can type in calendar C. So you just have calendar C is equal to calendar C is equal to
new calendar.
okay, yeah. So this one we have to import. Okay, give me a second. Give me 1 second. Yeah, okay. Here, calendar.get instance. You have to get this instance. So now you got the calendar. So using C dot, you can actually try to, it's a calendar package actually, whatever you see here in the date, right? So all the date utilities can be, used here. So you can try to see which day of the week, or, for what is the display name. If you want to set any date, you can set the dates also here. Dot set. You can see int year, month, and date. So this is a package actually. So you can control click on it, and you see where it goes. It is in the java.util package. So in this java.util package, you have a calendar class. So, and calendar class has got the date related utilities here. Okay, so you see here they have used like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday as number representations. Like they say it as Sunday starts with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, so this is a package actually. You can explore more way. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now coming back to the topic. So yeah, this is a public enum. So here I'm going to write a default values, default constants. So what are those? Sunday, comma, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
So you wrote Wednesday.
Friday. Anita, it would be useful to you, Anita. This is very much important. So when you do on the real-time implementations, right, we use enum types actually. So this is the
Yes. for most of the codes, right? Few of the codes I noticed they used enum, but I don't know why they used enum.
Yeah, this concept will actually help you actually this class. Okay.
Okay.
So you can also try using advanced enums also. Let me explain later. Okay. So now this is how we represent, and then this is done actually. You see here, you see in our presentation. So enum week, and then up to Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, all the weekdays are already there. And you see, this is the enum representation. Now I'm going to here. Okay, what I will do is,
enum like sets?
see, this is the main test class, right? So here what I do is, again I'll write main method. Okay, let's talk about the enums. So now what is our enum name? Day of the week, right? So day of the week. Yeah, before this we will use okay, day of the week dot values. Values is again the function which is already available in default enum class. Okay, default enum class. So you see, even if you click that, it will go to only this one, the custom class that you have written, but the values is actually built in. Okay, so here we don't know what does it prints. So to declare a variable, what we need to do?
We need to write the
shortcut key for declaring the variable. Alt enter. Place your cursor there. Alt enter. Introduce local variable, and then you see what does it represents? Days of the week as an array. So when it is an array, what you can do? You can use for loop, right?
Yeah.
For loop, and then what you have to do? Int I is equal to 0. I is less than days. So what will be the length of this one?
7.
7. So instead of hard coding, so you should not do hard coding. Okay, what we should do? It is the API that is available, days.length. Okay, and I plus plus. Okay, now we have written the for loop for iterating 7 days of this day of the week enum. So why 7? Because this contains 7 days here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we will write here like this, and then this out. How to access? Okay, here
print a days of I.
day is. Okay, so what I do? Now tell me how to access the variables of this array.
Days, then square brackets and I.
Square brackets and an I. Perfect. So now let's run this program. Okay, let's run this program. What is going to print? Control Shift and
F10.
F10. Okay. Now you see what's printed? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it printed. Correct, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is our implementation? Our implementation is pretty simple like this. Okay. Now let's move one level advanced. Okay. Let's move one level advanced. So what we will do? We will make a copy of this day of week. So where is this? Yeah, it is
utils package.
okay. Suppose if you don't know where exactly the package, right? If you want to find the package, what you do is you go to that class. It is showing in this, in the editor here, right? So use this icon here. the selected opened file. So whatever you have selected here, right, it will show it in the left side, which package, it is in. So just click here. It will take you directly, where exactly is the file.
Or sir, we can do control click on it and it will just go
No,
to
it will
the
control click. It will actually, take to that file only. So it takes to that file. Okay, suppose you see here, I'm in the account controller now. I'll come back to test, go to day of the week. So it shows in the editor, but left side, it doesn't show, like I forgot which package it is in, right? So if it is, if you forget, if you want to see, like, which package does this, enum belongs to, you just, control, click here. Okay, then it directly takes you there. Okay, now we will just, move one level advanced to this one. So what I do, Control C and then Control V. So day of the week, type 2. I'll just mention it as day of the week. So what do I do? Somebody will don't want to use the full letters in capital here. Sunday, Monday, all in capitals, right? So day of the week, camel case. I'll just mention camel case enum.
Can we use the capitalized or capitalized function?
Right. I'm going to go to that level. Okay, now this is the new enum type that I have created. Okay, so for this enum type, you see Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it's all written. Whereas it is duplicate to this class, right? Duplicate to this enum class, which is already present. So we want it in camel case. So for camel case, what we do is we will have to use brackets for everything. Okay, this is the value that you are going to define for your enum. Something like this. Okay. So now what you do is, so here you can make it as string. So what value you want. So instead of Sunday, what is the other name that you want to represent this Sunday? How you want to represent? So I want to represent it in 3 letters, SUN. So Monday, somebody wants to use MON. Tuesday, somebody wants to use in this format, camel case like this. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, THUR, and then Friday here. So here all 3 letters. So I'll use 3 letters for this also, and then semicolon. Now you see, so now you are giving a name. So for this Sunday, you want to use
So
it as
do we need to use the name is equal to?
No, we don't need any parameters here. Okay, so here what we need to do is you go back here and see what is the error message. Expected 0 arguments but found 1. So what is it saying is it doesn't want this parameter, but it is you are writing one parameter here.
So
So
constructor.
what exactly it is doing is, what is this Sunday? Sunday is of which type? The day of the week camel case, right? So we have to write a constructor here. So when you are writing a constructor, you have to give the name of the class, right? So name of the class is this one. Okay, you are giving the name of the class and then parenthesis open and close, and within this, so what type you are giving here? What is the type of this? String, right? So here also it should be string and then camel case, and you have to open brace and close bracket now. Okay, now you have to assign this camel case to a variable. So now you see, the error message is gone, but you still have to use a parameter to assign the value. So you just take it as private string and then camel case. Okay, camel case week, something like this. So you can just use the same name or different name, doesn't matter. So inside this, when you declare a variable, you want to assign the value of this one, right? So the value is passed like this from the UI or some other caller. So here what we do is you have to use this keyword. This represents to which variable? This one or
Camel
this one?
case week.
No, instance variable or local variable? This
Parameter.
refers to instance variables only,
Yeah.
right? So what is the instance variable here among these two?
Camel. A
12 or
private string.
line
Camel.
number 12 or 13?
12. 12.
Perfect. So camel case of the week is equal to just camel case of the week. That's it. So now your constructor is done, and then your the variable is also done. Now this class is done with two values. Okay, either you can use Sunday or you can use sun. Now let's go back to the program. Yeah, so this is first one, right? So here I will write this is type 1. Okay, now after this I will write type 2 representations, a little bit advanced. Okay, so I'll use the same thing. Okay, I'll use the same thing. So here I will use camel case.
So days is already defined in the scope. This camel
Here,
case of
here, let us see. Okay, this one, yeah. Now, what should we use?
value.
No value. So we'll just mention name is there, right? So let's give name here. Okay, let's try. See, name also, name we haven't represented any function, but still it is available. So this name represents whatever you give here. Okay, enum. So it is the enum value. Let's take an enum value. So for this, right, how you can access values. Okay, values of yeah, it has got multiple implementations here. So we don't have any function here, you see, for getting the value. But if you go inside this, what are we doing? We are taking the value and we are assigning it to this variable. And this variable is a private. So we want to access access this variable outside this class, right? So what we do here is we will generate the getter for this one.
Getters and setters.
Yes. Instead of getter setters, let's
Generate.
get only let's write only getter. Okay, because setter is the constructor we are already using. So now we are using the getter and the this dot camel case. Okay, let's see what happens here. It camel case of the week. Let's see, what is going to print. You see here, what is it printing now?
Sun, moon, Tuesday.
Correct. So in this case, we are using the values actually, the values. Now we'll go one level advanced. Okay. So I'll take a copy of this too.
So now will we get the number of the?
Okay, here I'll mention it as type 3. Okay, type 3. So type 3, what we are going to do is, some people, they want to represent in 3 letters like this, right? And what some other people want to do is, they want to use 3 letters but in capital. Okay, so I'll show you multiple options, how to initialize. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Anita, you're getting right?
Oh, yes,
Anita?
Gopal.
Yeah.
Yeah, able to understand.
Okay. Yeah. So for this enum, we are giving 2 different names actually, alias names. Okay, this Sunday can be
So I
understood.
need to create one more parameter.
Yes, correct. So what we need to do, we will add one more. What type
Parameter
is the
in
second
different
one?
structure.
What type is the second one? String, right?
String.
Yeah.
So it should be a string only. So string. So camel case of the week. Uppercase week. And when you declare this, you don't have the local variable, right? So you create a local, instance variable. You don't have instance variable. Create an instance variable here.
So then we need to say this dot uppercase V.
You have to assign the default state. So default state is like this. So now I give.
So we need to generate for uppercase.
Getter.
Yeah, we need to have the upper also. So what we do? Where is the getter? Okay, generate getter, and then.
So you can use Alt Enter also.
Right. Yeah, we can do. So now we got this. Now let's go back to this main program here and then change this program here. Okay, little bit will change. So here, this is camel case, right? So I will copy paste. This is uppercase. So in this case, what I need to use, which function I need to use?
Get.
See, there is some error, right? You have to see what code mistake you have done.
So I never did it for type 3.
Yeah, you see. Sorry, not this one, type 3, correct. So what is the type 3? Yeah, uppercase of the week, right? So uppercase of the week. Yeah, we have camel case and uppercase, but in this program, it is the type 3, right? So let's come out of this one. Come out of this, take the copy of this. This is type 3. So what is the name of the type 3 now?
Days of week type 3.
Type 3. So I'll be using the same here, okay?
So you need to change the variable camel case to.
Okay, here shift F6, I'll use shift F6 and upper case days. Okay, now so this uppercase days has got two values, right? Two values. What are these? One is camel case and one is uppercase. So we'll print both, okay?
Sir, in the camel, you need to change the print statement. It should be uppercase thing.
No, we'll mention another one, okay?
Oh.
Two SOPs. So uppercase of the day. So now here in this way, here it comes uppercase. Okay, now let's see, it's all same. So let's run the program.
So I will print 2 at a time.
Yeah, 2 at a time. You see here, camel case is SUN and capital SUN, SUN and SUN, right? MON and capital M. Like this, you can give multiple values also. Now you see, I'm going to add one more representation. Like, Anita comes and then say, hey, Gopal, I don't want to represent for my application like this. My application takes Sunday as 1, Monday as 2, Tuesday as 3.
So then we need to create another
yes,
integer or
correct.
byte.
So you see 6 and then 7. So when it is like this, you'll have to duplicate the value to retrieve. So this is or numeric, okay? And then three values you are giving, right? So what should be the type of the third one?
Int.
Int. So int I give numeric week. So I'll just duplicate this one, copy this, paste it here, and then we need to have
One more getter. For
getter,
integer.
yes, numeric week. So we got this here, and then you see we give string here, right? So it should be of type int, because the third.
So it should be
column is
this
number, right?
dot
Number, right?
uppercase. And you forgot this dot in
Yeah, it's there.
uppercase. No, in the getter.
Oh yeah, it doesn't. It's okay. That doesn't matter actually. So here in this case, you can write or you no need to write. So it's up to compiler will understand actually with this or without this keyword. Okay, we mostly use this when we have variables like this. You see, we already have a camel case here, right? To make the compiler understand and then or do it fast processing, we use this keyword, because if we don't use this one, right? So what will in this case what will happen? Which variable does the compiler will understand?
The parameter.
You see, the parameter also have the same name, and the class level instance also same name, right? So in this kind of situation or scenarios, we must always use this keyword, okay? So that's very important. In this case, you see, even if you don't mention, the compiler will not get confused actually, because this is the instance where numeric week is only one variable which is declared at the class level. So it will always get this, right? So now we gave this. Now, later Hasni comes. I don't want to use this. I want to use camel case, all in small. First, the first letter should be in capital. So she'll come and then she'll name it as like this: full week, full name of the week, day, and then it should be, the first letter should be in caps, and the remaining is all in small. So something like this. So like this, you can give any number of parameters actually. Okay, to make your program understand whatever value comes, it will understand. Okay, now Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It should be. Okay, what is the type of the fourth variable? Fourth
String.
String. So I'll make a copy of this and then make the
So if you want to copy, no need to like highlight it. You can just press the number, the whole line will get highlighted.
Yeah. This way we can also see here. It says directly it will add actually. You can use the editor provided suggestions also. But in this case, we know exactly what we need to do. So we'll just use this naming conventions. Okay. So just to make it fast, right click, generate. So we need to generate the proper case for the fourth value to retrieve. Okay, now go to main, and then that is the case 3. So what I will do, so here I'll just mention I went into the log mode. Fine. So here and the first one will be in caps. I'll give a space here to identify what is the other values here. Okay, now uppercase is done. So here what I will do, uppercase and it is proper case. So proper case doesn't have any value. Done. Yeah, we have one more also, right? Numeric. So this one we don't need. Okay, so it will print capital Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then followed by the camel case, 3-letter camel case, and then 3-letter uppercase, and then numeric value representation of the week, and then so the proper case. So like capital in the first letter. So I'm going to run this program. Now let's see. So here first thing is values for day is. So values for day. So for Sunday, what is the values that you can use? Small SUN, capital SUN, and the number numeric 1, and the full word proper case like this. Okay, you understood, right? How to use the constants. Now, so we use this one, right? So let me give an example of usage, actual usage. Usage in switch statement. Okay, what we do? Switch so I'm taking a default value as so okay, instead of Sunday I'll make it as Wednesday. Okay, now in this, right? So day of the week, and inside this day of the week, so this is the day. I'll just mention it as day. Okay, now So whenever you get a value like this, right, Wednesday, the day of the week, so how you use in switch statement using this, and then let's write the case here. Okay, so this is case Sunday, right? Sunday case, and then break. So before breaking, we will print Sunday is selected, something like this. Okay, now let's duplicate this one. Okay, this is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, and then next comes default, yes out, not the allowed values. Okay, done. And here Monday, Tuesday.
So it can never go to default. So it can never go to default.
Yeah, but your program should cover the boundary conditions also, right?
Yeah.
In this case, it will never go. But if the value is coming from some other place, right? Then you don't know what exactly the value you will be this program would be receiving. Okay, fine. Sunday is selected. Okay. Now you see. So what value I have passed here? Wednesday.
Wednesday.
So which one it will be printed?
Wednesday.
Yes, it will print Wednesday. So now run this program. You see Wednesday is selected, right? So let's move this one outside. Okay, this is a switch statement, right? So if you want to make a separate function for this, what you do, right click, okay, go to refactor, extract method, click this. So it is a private method, right? So you just so print day of the week. So there is a print day of the week, and then we got that day here. So here I will be passing Wednesday, Thursday, and this is a function call. So automatically, the IntelliJ will help you write a function for this. So the function is extracted to a separate private function. So now assume that here in this case. So what will be the value that this function will be receiving?
Thursday.
Any day, right? So here in Thursday, because it is Thursday. So now the question that you said, right, Advay?
Yeah.
You said, now you say me which one is which block does it go?
Default.
Right, you see. Yeah, you see it's throwing some error. Let's see what's the error. Null pointer exception. So it's not able to identify what day is this. So here this is null, right? So nulls are not allowed here. So that's why you're getting null pointer exception. So mostly you need to have a value in this case. So this is how you fix the issues also in real time. So you encounter some issues like this, exceptions are generated. Oh, so you learn by yourself. Okay, so this function, it doesn't allow nulls here. So whenever a null value is passed to this function, then it's going to throw null pointer exception like this. Okay, and this is about the enums actually. So let's read out some statements. Enum improves the type safety. So type safety you see here. So here you are just using day of the week. Here you see Sunday, you're just using Sunday. Sunday is also day of the week. Monday is also the day of the week, right? So all these are enums only. So that's why you can say. So it improves the type safety. It can be easily used in switch. So we actually used in switch like this, right? So otherwise you can use if else conditions, right? If, so the same thing.
But switch is better.
Switch is better, right? So we use switch statement, and then enum can be traversed. So yeah, traverse means you can easily find all the values and then traverse the values like this. You see all the values we are printing it here one by one, right? And then enums can have fields. Enums can have fields, can have constructors, can have methods. So tell me in this case, so where is the constructor?
The day of the week type 3, then
Line number
16.
correct. Line number 16 is the having the same name of the functions with as the class name. You see the class name is also day of the week type 3, and then the function name is also day of the week type 3. It doesn't have any return type, but it will always return the type of the instance. So whatever is the enum class, right? So it will return that particular type here, the constructor always. So fine, you understood this constructors. So enums can have variables. So these are the variables. You see, fields are nothing but variables. So all these variables are for this enum. And then you have a constructor. So this is the constructor. This is a constructor, and these are the properties or fields. Okay, and what are these? Methods or functions, right? This is a function, right? This is a method. This is a method. So you can interchangeably use method or function. So these are all the functions, and you can use methods also. So the fourth one is also you have seen. Yeah, this one you can ignore actually. Enum may implement many interfaces. So when we talk about interfaces, then you'll easily come to know about this part also. Okay, fine. Yeah, constructor. So we'll talk about this constructor, and then we'll wrap up the class. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, let's talk about this constructor alone, and then we'll wrap up. So what is the constructor? So constructor is, why do we use constructor? Because to declare the default state. So what state of your object you want it to be when you create a variable using new keyword. So now in this case, yeah, let's take string operations. So in these string operations, you see, okay, file operations or grids. Yeah, you see, you take an example of this. You're declaring a variable here, right, using new keyword. So the common util doesn't have any instance variables. So that's why you don't define the state actually. So it's a default state. Means, it doesn't assign any value. So only the state of this common util is like, it declares a object, and then it will wait actually. It doesn't initialize any values. You see the function, you see the empty brackets here, right? The
Empty
right side.
constructor.
You see the empty brackets here represents it doesn't assign any values. So only it will initialize the class, and then assign it to an object for this, and then this using this object, whatever resources are available you can access from the class level. Okay, so let's read out these statements. It is used to set the default state of the object. So in this case, we don't have any values here. So default state is empty actually. So it will just initialize the class. Instance of the class will be returned. And it implicitly returns the current instance of the class. So common util is the class, right? So you are declaring a object of type common util using new keyword. So you are declaring an object. So the object is not assigning the default values. That's why. So the constructor without any arguments, right? It will actually returns the current state. So whatever is assigned to that class, right? So the instance variables, the values that you assign to the instance variables are nothing in case of empty constructor. So if you have used any constructor explicitly here, then whatever values, default values you are assigning, then it will take those values. Okay, we can say like constructors can also be overloaded. Means in this case, you see in the case of default, yeah. So in this case, right? So you can have one more constructor also here. So without this, this is a need 3.
So it can be
constructor arguments.
parameter specific.
So here, you can just specify as empty here, or so some kind of default value. Always you initialize as Sunday, something like this. So what is this? Yeah, it should be double quote string, right? Okay, something like this. You can make I'll still reduce, I'll still take out these two. This is single param constructor. So here I will make it as Sunday, and then this one I'll make it as. So the default value is these are the default values whenever you use this constructor, right? So if you use this constructor, then the values are always this, something like that. So this way we are overloading the constructor. Okay, overloading means what? We'll have the same name with different arguments. So in this case 1, in this case 3, in this case.
But so why is overloaded constructors useful?
Yeah, this part we'll check in the next class. Okay, but now you just understand what is possible. Okay, so I just wanted to say here actually, like can be overloaded or not. Yes, constructors can be overloaded. So how many types of constructors we have? We have two types. One is without parameters and another one is with parameters. So if you don't specify any parameters here, right, it is compiler will actually initialize the, okay, you see here, let's read out the statement. Does not accept any value. So default constructor does not accept any value, means it doesn't have any parameter like this. Okay, so this is the default constructor. You no need to mention every time because the compiler implicitly represents that. So initialize the instance variable. So why do we use default constructor? It initializes the instance variables. Instance variables means what? These are all instance variables, right? So all these instance variable, when we create an object of type day of the week type 3, then it will assign the values to the instance variables. That's why we use default constructors. Means it's like this. I declare a class and I want the proper, the values to be returned for those properties. Okay, so in that case, the constructor, you make use of the constructor to assign the default values to the class level instance variables. Okay, and then this default constructor is invoked implicitly by the compiler if there is no constructor defined in the class. So if you don't define any constructor here, default constructor,
then it will throw a garbage collector.
No, not garbage collector. So the compiler will be implicitly invoking. Okay, so you see here invoked implicitly by the compiler. So the default constructor without arguments means empty constructor. Okay, parameterized constructor is like, initialize the instance variable with given values. Given values are what? These are the given values, right? So all these given values are assigned to these instance variables. So this is the parameterized constructor. This is parameterized constructor. Okay, fine. Constructor is done. Yeah, this part we'll check later. And practice work, I have just given some examples. So you can try this actually. You can just practice how to write for constructor and then overload the constructor. Try to commit the mistake and then fix it and try to understand what's the error message. Okay.
So does override mean like there's two functions with same name, like everything same?
Right. So the syntactically both the functions are same, but the implementation is different. So that one is called as overriding. So overriding, we'll see it in the next class. Okay. So any questions, Anita, Hasni? Yeah. So we'll disconnect the call now, and that's it from my side. So Hasni, you connect back. Okay. We'll try to sort out your issue now. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.